I'm starting to think my boyfriend is more committed to his teddy bear than he is to me, and it's reaching a level I never thought I'd have to handle in a relationship. I, 21F, have been with my boyfriend, 23M, for 3 months now, so it's pretty new. So far everything is going well except this tiny little detail. He has this teddy bear, let's name him Teddy. Teddy has always been a part of my boyfriend's life. He got him for his birth, and when at around the age of 5 or 6, or whatever age is the appropriate age to remove a teddy bear from a child, his parents tried taking Teddy away from him. He screamed and cried so loud without stopping, to the point where they just ended up giving up. So he kept Teddy with him his whole life. He mentioned Teddy to me pretty early on, about a week after us being together. He showed me pictures of him and I found it cute at first. He had plenty of pictures of him in different situations, him with a mug, him laying in bed, him studying. I truly found it adorable, since I thought it was just a joke really, and didn't think that Teddy was such a big part of his life. The more we got to know each other, the more he started mentioning him. He'd often make jokes about him. When he had to come back to his flat, he'd say, "I have to come back, Teddy is waiting for me," and then later he'd text me, "Okay, I put Teddy to bed, so now I might go to sleep as well, I don't want to wake him up." Again, a little weird but cute still. But he really started talking about him constantly, always linking what we were doing to him. "Oh, I wish Teddy was with us to see that. Teddy doesn't really like people, so I won't take him with me for this party, etc." He'd send me selfies with him at least twice a week. He also sometimes said weird stuff, like whenever we watched an intimate scene in a movie, he'd say that's what me and Teddy do when we're alone. Or when I asked when he lost his V card, he answered, "Oh, I lost it with Teddy a few years ago." They were jokes that made me uncomfortable. He always seemed to consider him as a baby, his son, or his brother, so him being sexualized was extremely weird for me. I told him then that it was weird and he just laughed, but I don't think he took me seriously. About a month ago, I told him I was okay with him bringing Teddy when he was staying around my flat. I could see it was making him sad to leave him, and also was very curious to finally see him in person. I can't go to my boyfriend's flat, there are rules that are strict, he can't invite anyone. So that day I drove to his flat and he went with all his stuff and Teddy. When he got in the car, he pulled him out from his bag and had him give me a kiss on the cheek. When we drove, he opened the window and put Teddy out of the car, a bit like a dog would. He said it was rare for Teddy to travel like that and he could feel that he was happy. Teddy smells a lot, my boyfriend hasn't washed him in 12 years. For the rest of the car drive, he hugged him and gave him kisses. He has a weird twitch where he just compulsively pats the back of Teddy. It makes a weird sound because Teddy used to be able to play music when you pressed his belly. He always rubs Teddy's clothes in between his fingers. You can guess that Teddy is in a pretty bad state. He used to be red and now he's just gray. When we're together in bed, he always puts Teddy's mouth on my mouth, and I always avoid it as I find it disgusting, and I told him that I hate it, but he doesn't listen. He always tries to have Teddy touch my chest or my butt. When we make love, I often end up finding him in between us, and every time I throw him away, my boyfriend says oh no, he likes to watch in a joking way. He often mentions us having a three-way with Teddy, him, Teddy, being great at licking, and them always doing spicy stuff together. Now I'm not an idiot. I know communication is important. I tried talking to him so many times. Sometimes in a joking way too, so he doesn't feel attacked. Like once, I asked who would he choose if he had to choose between me and Teddy. He said Teddy, but also so many times in a serious way. I told him I didn't like when he was rubbing Teddy on my face and body. I told him I found his relationship with him way too intense and weird, but every time he didn't take it seriously, made jokes, and never truly told me what he thought. I should mention that he is like that for any serious conversation. All he does is make awkward jokes and he never tells me how he feels. He only said I love you first because he was drunk. This is becoming hard to handle. I have been away from him for 2 weeks and was kind of relieved I wouldn't see Teddy anymore, but all he did was send pictures, and whenever I asked him what are you doing or what did you do today, his answer was playing with Teddy. Today he told me I was perfect, which was a first, and I sure didn't expect that. He doesn't give a lot of compliments. When he said that, I said really? And his reply was actually no, Teddy is perfect, you come way after him. I just gave up and didn't reply. I have 3 questions. 1. Am I overreacting? Am I the one not being tolerant enough? Am I some boring girlfriend who can't welcome some childishness in her relationship? 2. What should I do? Should I let him live his life with Teddy? Should I ask him to make a real choice? Should I ask him to just stop the intimate jokes? Like, who am I to ask such things? I don't know. Is it my place to tell him to stop being so weird with his teddy bear? And 3. How do I get him to finally talk to me and take me seriously? Edit. I'm not sure what to do yet, but I'll definitely have a serious talk with him. I'll try, and then depending on his answer, I'll either give him a chance or say goodbye. Top comments. Commenter number 1. So I'm pretty sure I used to be friends with this dude on Facebook and ended up blocking him. He had several profiles, one for Teddy, and would harass the hell out of women then blame it on Teddy. He told one of my friends he hopes she gets SA'd, and then blamed it on Teddy and tried to re-add her on a different account. He has a comic or novel or something he's working on about him and Teddy, and he makes the girls who block him or get upset with him the villains they defeat. If it's the same dude, he's out of his fucking mind and you need to run. Edit. I didn't want to unblock the guy's profile, because I have to wait 48 hours to block him again and he really scares me, but I found one of his many profiles that seems to be abandoned. He uses an alias, so I don't know if OP would recognize the name. However, his profile is full of photos of the creepy old bear, so maybe she'll recognize the bear. I certainly hope there's not two of these creepazoids running around. This particular dude has a crime scene photo of a unalived SA victim laying face down in a field as his cover photo, so if it's the same dude, she needs to bail, change her phone number, and move. Edit number 2. The thread is locked now, so I can't reply to anyone, but OP messaged me and confirmed this is not Teddy. So yes, there is at least two of these creepazoids running around. Update. The next day. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to you all. I did not expect to get that many comments. I'm safe for those who were worried. You all really scared me though. I had many questions that were asked, so I'm quickly going to reply to the ones I saw the most often. To the people asking, why are you with this guy? Are you insecure? Why are your standards so low? Etc. I obviously didn't write down his nicest description. Apart from this weird teddy bear fetish, he was a completely normal guy, with friends, going to parties, studying and so on. He is quite the popular guy, in fact, even though I don't care about this kind of thing. He took me on dates and made me feel special. I really thought he was a keeper. At the beginning, him being a little childish didn't bother me. I myself have stuffed pets, and even though they're in the cupboard, I used to love them as a kid. That's when he started sizing his bear, involving me in it, that I freaked out. The problem is, it's so hard to tell when he's joking or not. He constantly makes jokes. That's why I never could tell whether I was overreacting or not. Is he just joking, or does he mean what he says? However, the one thing I really didn't see coming, and you guys helped me realize it, is his lack of respect towards me and my boundaries. Sometimes it's easier to see from an external point of view. This whole time I was too focused wondering whether it was normal or not for me to feel uncomfortable, and I didn't realize that not once did he help me feel more comfortable despite me telling him how I felt. Thank you a lot, because that's the one thing you all really helped me with. I would have probably taken more time to realize it on my own, even though it now looks obvious. About the guy who said he knew him in the comments, fortunately it wasn't him. Thank you so much for your help though. For the people saying to run away, he's going to unalive you, he's a psychopath, etc. Although his behavior is extremely weird, I don't see him hurting anyone. But obviously it's easier for me to tell since you all had to base your opinion on what I said. He doesn't match the psychopath personality at all. I'm not allowed to visit him because he lives in a private home, a person hosts him in one of their bedroom, and this person doesn't allow any visit. It is weirdly strict, yes, but it's believable, and I've seen his sister once who confirmed that she couldn't visit him herself. One thing is sure though, although he may not hurt anyone, he seems to have serious problems and I'm not sure I can handle it. To the people saying it's fake, and it seems like the movie Ted. I know it all looks surreal, but it is true. I have multiple pictures of Teddy if some of you are interested. I know a lot about Teddy's past because my BF won't shut up about him. That's why I knew I know the movie Ted, but I have never seen it, and my BF actually suggested that we could watch it like a month ago. For the people saying to burn Teddy, make him disappear, etc. Haha, thank you, I did think about it a lot. I often hide him when he brings him in my flat, so I know exactly where he is, and so my boyfriend doesn't think about him. He always ends up looking for him though. But still, it gives me a break. And finally, for the people asking what I did in the end, I was meant to see him today, so I picked him up and we drove to my flat. Of course Teddy was there, and when he came in the car, my boyfriend had him give me kisses and stuff. I said stop please in a cold way, and he stopped. I said we needed to talk, and he listened because I started crying. I thought it would be hard for me to start talking, but since I was so stressed with all your comments, I just broke down and cried. I told him how I needed him to stop with Teddy, that he needed to stop being so close and dependent on him, that Teddy shouldn't come to my flat anymore. At first he was silent, but then he said he didn't understand why I was so uncomfortable with it, that he was purely joking, that he knew Teddy wasn't real, and that it was hurting him to see that I thought he had a problem. I was extremely disappointed of his reaction and just told him I needed a break. I drove him back to his flat, and that's where I am now. Edit. Everyone is saying the post is deleted, and I have no idea why it wasn't deleted before. Thank you to you all for your support. I realized there was some confusion. No, I'm not in his flat. I'm home and safe. Tonight you'll sleep at a friend so she and I can talk about it, and I'm never going back with him. He sent me terrible messages all night which convinced me to never get back with him. Thank you again for helping me, and have a nice day. I'll send a picture of Teddy for those who want one in a bit, but I have to get ready for school first. Don't worry, the face of my boyfriend won't be shown. Teddy next to a cat. Teddy solo.